when you're dealing with a mainstream anime movie coming out in the West and you go to see it in theaters, you run the risk. There's a chance that you might meet or see interesting people. This one was no different. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Mugen Train. Jokes aside, Mugen Train is it's kind of interesting, right? Because as far as I know, this is the first like mainstream anime movie that covers a portion of the manga, like a whole arc of the manga. So this whole movie is manga canon. So if you're watching Demon Slayer, you can't really afford to skip this movie if you're an anime only. And that's actually a pretty big deal as far as I'm concerned, because I'm so used to movies like the Dragon Ball Z movies and the Naruto movies and the Bleach movies being so inconsequential, at least up until for Dragon Ball Battle of Gods and for Naruto the last. Bleach, still no canon movies. One Piece, no canon movies. And then My Hero, the movies are plausible, but again, not canon. So this is a pretty big deal in that aspect. It's also interesting because this movie's been struggling to come out. It was supposed to come out last year, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was announced in like 2019. But things happened. And the movie just struggled to actually get a full release. And then Aniplex was like, oh hey, guess what? We have a second season of Demon Slayer coming out. It's like, well, we can't watch it until this movie comes out, Aniplex. When's the movie coming out? I'm kidding. I wasn't a part of that. I didn't start watching Demon Slayer until a couple months ago. But this review will be assuming that you're caught up on Demon Slayer up to this arc. So spoilers for anything between the final selection arc and the mountain arc. I can't remember what the name of the mountain is. But shortly after Zenitsu, Tanjiro, and Inosuke recovered from getting their asses absolutely handed to them on the mountain, they were given a mission to join one of the Hashira, Kyojuro Rengoku, on the train to Busan. That's a terrible joke. Anyway, there's this train that people get on, and they keep dying on it. There's demons and all sorts of stuff, which, if you ask me, why are you getting on the train? Those tickets must be like $1. I don't see any other reason why you would get on that train if you know people are dying. But, Rengoku was assigned this train because, like, well, I mean, these demons might be tough, so you could probably handle it. So he's there, and then the other guys were also sent to accompany him, which is really just because Tanjiro needs to talk to Rengoku about something. That's the only reason that all three of these characters are on that train with Rengoku. But you have your demon slayers on the train with the demons that they're supposed to slay, and so you have your movie. And I mean, honestly, it's a pretty simple premise. The movie doesn't ask much of you. It's easy to just get in and then just start enjoying the story. Animation, beautiful, because I mean, it's Ufotable. Ufotable are absolute wizards. Why does my hair keep attacking me like this? Point is, Ufotable are sorcerers at what they do. They're some of the best in the business. So if you like how Fate and Demon Slayer look, then you're gonna like the Fate and Demon Slayer movies. Demon Slayer, very, very pretty movie. Probably some of the best animation I've seen in an anime movie, apart from the CGI. I'm sorry. When you watch the movie and you see the part that's CGI, you'll understand why it's CGI, but you can't help but notice that it's CGI, right? And that kind of takes you out of it. CGI in anime is almost never good. Mappa can't do it well, Toei can't do it well, Pierrot can't do it well, Bones can do it kind of decently, but CGI is typically going to look bad, no matter what, unless it's... You know what I just thought about? Berserk. Think about the CGI in Berserk for a second. This isn't as bad as Berserk CGI. I don't want to send that impression. Because I thought about Berserk, I want you to think about Berserk. But there's some really well-designed action pieces in this movie. The characters do a lot of cool stuff that you're going to love seeing, especially with this big movie budget. The sound design is great because the sound design has pretty much always been great in Demon Slayer. Ever since I started watching Fire Force, sound design has been something that I pay very close attention to, and I've developed a deep appreciation for, at least as far as anime is concerned. Western stuff, I've always cared about sound design, but I never cared so much in anime until I started watching Fire Force. What else am I talking about? There's some okay. I said the movie's pretty simple, right? Which it is, but there are some moments that will hit you right where you live if you're not ready for it. And I'm not gonna lie, I typically don't let anime get me emotional, but this one kind of crept up on me, and it sucks, right? Because I'm not even really a Demon Slayer fan. I just think it's pretty cool, but this really elements took place in the film that affected me. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, at least for now. I don't want to do a second video about this, so there will be a spoiler section, but we're not there yet. Now, as I said, the premise of the movie revolves around three pretty green demon slayers accompanying a Hashira on a train filled with demons. So it's like, well, if you need the Hashira, then why do you need these kids? And if the kids are supposed to be the main characters, how do you have them not get, outshined by the Hashira? Because he's not who the story is supposed to be about. You're absolutely right. There is a very difficult balance to strike in writing that sort of scenario, no matter what the show is, Naruto, Dragon Ball, Bleach, where you have the main character who is supposed to be so far below the level of the character that they're hanging out with, but the character that they're hanging out with is a part of this particular story arc, so they have to do something, but they can't do everything. That balance is difficult to strike, but this movie strikes it well, in my opinion. I think that if you're there to see Rengoku do cool Hashira stuff, like elite Demon Slayer level stuff, you'll be satisfied. And if you're there to watch Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke do what they do, then you're going to be satisfied with that too. There's a really good balance there, and you never really lose interest in what's going on. There's a couple moments I'm like, but overall, it's easy to stay attached to the situation because you don't get bored watching Rengoku kill everything. All right, now I'm going to spoil the movie for you if you haven't seen it, but we're going to talk spoilers. And if you don't want to deal with that, and you just want my closing thoughts and rating, then skip to the time on the screen. Hopefully, I actually do put it there. Sometimes I don't do that, but spoilers. Okay, if you're still here, that's on you. I did not expect Rengoku to die. I typically am pretty good at identifying early in the story when a character is supposed to die. And looking back on it, I should have realized that he was going to die from like what we saw in his dream about him talking to his family. I should have realized that they were giving him backstory and giving him setup so that his death would have an impact later on in the movie. I just didn't catch it. But that fight between him and that 12 Kizuki demon, fucking, that shit was badass, bro. Like that was one of the most well animated fights I've seen in such a long time. And I'm just a little disappointed that he didn't kill him too. I was like, well, okay, if Rengoku's gonna die, then surely he could take this guy with him, right? No, I got his sword about halfway through the guy's neck, couldn't get it the rest of the way. I was so upset. And then when Tanjiro threw his sword, I thought he was gonna like pin him to a tree or something like that so that the sun would come up and kill him. No. Tanjiro's worthless. Tanjiro's worthless. And I'm surprised that Rengoku's death did impact me as deeply as it did, because we had seen him like a little bit before that arc started for the first time. I'm sure reading it, it was a lot easier to get attached to him over the course of the Mugen Train arc. But in the movie, they had to work so hard to get us to care about him so that his death would hit us the same way that it hit Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke. Because honestly, they didn't particularly have a reason to be too moved by his death, apart from the trust and faith that he put in them to become great demon slayers one day, and just showing, like I said in my main series review, showing such a stark reminder of what they have to learn if they're going to survive in this world. Because even as strong as Rengoku is, I don't know like where he ranks in the Hashira, but I assume he was top 3 probably. Like I feel like he's stronger than Giyu and weaker than that sword guy. Sword guy? The guy with the white hair? His name? With the scar that goes that way? Anyway, I imagine that he's pretty high up there. So if he couldn't even kill like the upper 3 demon, then how is Tanjiro expected to kill Muzan? You know what I mean? I don't know how that's supposed to happen. Is he even going to live long enough to kill Muzan? That's a very interesting thing that we're going to have to wait and see, I guess. But honestly, before that fight started, and if the movie had just ended with them, you know, defeating the train, I was probably just gonna think that the movie was kind of okay as far as anime movies go. Like, it's probably about as good as, like, I don't know, Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn. But then that fight started happening, and it started climbing, and now it's up there with My Hero Two Heroes. I was like, this movie's fire. Sorry, I didn't realize it was gonna be fire. Carry on. But like I said, simple story, good action, solid animation, you know, good character stuff, emotional moments. It's all there. It's all wrapped up very, very neatly. And if I'm gonna rate this movie, I would say that Demon Slayer Mugen Train is probably worth buying on Blu-ray. I think the industry should be supported in any way possible. So go see the movie at least. And if you really like it, buy it. Anyway. That's how you... Demon Slayer Mugen Train. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below and educate me. And as always, if you want more videos from me, go ahead and click somewhere on the screen and we'll take you to another video of mine. Buy a shirt, subscribe if you're new, share this video around with a friend. And I will see you very soon.